Hi everyone, welcome to Michelle on the Money. This is all about your money from consumer to business news in the bi-state. Let's start with our winter weather. Roads in St. Louis City are still a little rough out there, and officials are also angry about the failure of a good faith program to help residents put salt down around their homes. The city dropped off 1.5 tons of salt at 5 firehouses last Friday, telling people to bring their own buckets. But the supply ran out almost instantly, leaving a lot of people empty-handed. Residents driving to several locations found nothing but scraps on the pavement. Officials say in some cases they saw commercial trucks loading up and stealing resources meant for neighborhood sidewalks and driveways.
We also had some instances of, a commercial truck pulling up and filling up with salt, which is obviously not the intent. So we're going to make some tweaks to that.
Now, the city says it will refill the piles for the next winter event, but plans to change how it is handing out to keep others from draining the supply. A North St. Louis city shelter is asking for your help to keep neighbors warm. Hope Nation International Church on Moffett Avenue has been providing dozens of people with a warm meal and a safe place to sleep. But church leaders say the bills are starting to add up.
Utility cost a lot when you're running gas and electric, and even the food costs for the 20 to 30 individuals that we have every night. Those costs can rise very, very quickly on you.
The shelter is asking 100 people to donate $24 to stay open. And if you'd like more information, you can visit this story under the As Seen on TV section of KSDK.com. Well, these bitterly cold mornings may have you struggling to pay the gas bill. Spire, by the way, has a new program aimed at lowering costs. The customer charge waiver program gives a $22 a month credit, and right now the program is only for Missouri customers. That program, though, is 12 months long, and those eligible will need to renew every year. If you want more information, you can visit Spire's website. An abrupt end to a local legacy is leaving hundreds of workers scrambling. After 25 years, Alton Steel is shutting its doors for good. Brent Solomon spoke to several of those workers.
Well, we have our ups and downs, but that's life.
For more than a decade, Chris Hammock has showed up. He's even weathered layoffs before, but this time there's no coming back.
I've been down there for like 15 years now. And just I don't know where to go.
Living paycheck to paycheck and then losing your job and watching your dad suffer like that, it's hard.
It is a story now shared among hundreds of families in Alton. Alton Steel, a privately held mill, says it can no longer compete with publicly traded giants. About 250 employees now out of work. Company leaders cite aging infrastructure, intense market competition, and industry consolidation that force their hand. This is an incredibly painful decision for everyone involved, said CEO Chris Irvin. Our employees have shown exceptional dedication and skill for more than 2 decades of production.
How am I going to feed my kids? Health insurance?
Local leaders are demanding answers. State Senator Erica Harris saying in a statement, "I am truly shocked. Just weeks ago, Alton Steel was actively hiring, and there were no indications that these jobs or this facility were at risk. Families built their plans and their futures around this work, and that sense of stability has been pulled out from under them without warning." For this father and son who worked side by side in the mill, the loss is twice as heavy. Greg Spiller watched his son Darius grow up in the plant.
I'm 54 years old. I was looking at another 6 years, and I was done. So now where do I go to start over? I don't know.
While the company says it is working with state agencies for job placement, for those who spent decades at the furnace, a new start feels a long way off.
Well, the company says all employee 401 accounts are secure. With operations suddenly ending this week, the immediate concern is for those 250 workers remaining covering the mortgage or rent and health care, and of course, where to turn to find work again. But if you are one of those hundreds left scrambling, we do know that there are new resources available right now to help. Madison County Employment and Training Department, in partnership with the Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity, is working with Alton Steel right now to get laid off workers back on their feet. They're going to be holding workshops soon to help workers file their unemployment claims and connect them with other resources. They can also help with resumes, interviews, career counseling, and also training opportunities. The director, Darlene Ladd, says that she wants the impacted workers just to know that they are not alone.
We have had several employers in the area reach out who are interested in hiring these individuals who are losing their jobs. So I think first and foremost, they need to realize there's support here. There's a community that's very interested in helping them. A lot of employers have reached out. They want to work with these folks. They know they're good employees. They'd like to bring them onto their team. So it's a matter of helping them get connected.
Well, you can walk into Madison County Employment and Training Department to get help. They are open Monday through Friday from 8 to 4:30. You can also call 618-296-4301. And we should mention that all of these services are free and no appointment is needed. Amazon is announcing massive layoffs. The company says it is cutting 16,000 jobs. The layoffs come just one day after the company abruptly announced that it is closing all Amazon Fresh and Go stores across the country. The company has not publicly specified which business units will be impacted or where these job cuts will occur. A new bill could change the leadership of the Dome at the Americas Center. Our partners at the Business Journal say that this bill would take the two groups currently running the event space and turn them into one 15-member board. This would affirm the move the groups already made in August of last year. The legislation expands the commission's taxing authority, including 2% sales tax option. That bill is currently in a House committee. Next week, you'll have a chance to learn more about St. Louis's bus rapid transit project. It's a new transportation plan after the scrapped the Metrolink Green Line connecting South City to North City because of high costs. There will be 3 open houses between February 3rd and the 5th, and all the meetings will be from 5 until 7 p.m. There will also be a virtual meeting on February 11th. Well, work has started on a new building aimed at science and research at Harris-Stowe State University. The 4-story building will have 18 classrooms and 12 research labs. The university also plans to launch a Master of Business Administration program this fall, which will be its first graduate level degree. Horse racing season may be over, but Fairmont Park is heating up for next season. The track is getting upgrades with a new inner rail on our track, creating a safer environment for both the jockeys and the horses. This season, fans will also experience new concession stands. The park says people will be able to get items faster, and racing season just around the corner, with horses hitting the track in April. 162,000 Toyota trucks are being recalled because of their multimedia displays. The company is recalling 2024 and 2025 Toyota Tundra and Tundra hybrid trucks. Apparently, these multimedia displays can get stuck on a camera view or show a black image and may not show anything altogether when the trucks are in reverse. And because of this issue, the trucks would not meet federal safety standards. The automaker says it will reach out to customers in late March about an update. Interest rates will hold steady following 3 straight cuts. The central banks says that the economic activity has been expanding at a solid pace, though inflation remains somewhat elevated. Markets are expecting the Fed to wait until at least June before adjusting its benchmark borrowing rate again. And the banking industry is pushing back on President Donald Trump's call to cap credit card interest rates at 10%. Now, this is a move that he hopes will put an end to the affordability crisis facing Americans. Right now, the average rate is 20% as households face the most credit card debt on record. Some financial experts say a cut would actually make things worse, taking access to credit away from a majority of consumers.
Banks might really pull back access to credit, especially for consumers with lower credit scores. They do not want to take on the risk.
When consumers lose access to credit, which is anticipated if this rate cut goes in, they often reduce their spending on essentials like healthcare, education, food, and are more likely to fall behind on bills.
The president's proposal needs congressional approval. Last year, Senator Josh Hawley of Missouri was part of a bipartisan push for a similar cut, but that stalled in Congress. JP Morgan Chase and Bank of America announced that it will match the government's one-time $1,000 contribution to children's retirement savings for eligible employees. These are so-called Trump accounts. They are part of a pilot program that deposits the money into accounts for eligible children born between January 1st, 2025 and December 31st, 2028. Trump administration officials said that more than 500,000 families have already signed up. Now, this tax season, the Trump administration is already asking parents to sign up for these Trump accounts. Parents with children born between now and 2028 can fill out the tax form 4547. Deposits into these accounts will not be made until July 4th of this year. Older children can also sign up for the accounts, but the federal government will not deposit that $1,000. The IRS says it expects to receive about 164 million individual tax returns this year. Now, the fastest way to get your money is by direct deposit, and that's because the IRS started phasing out paper checks after a presidential executive order. That means taxpayers must now give their routing and account numbers to the government, and the IRS says most refunds should come back within 3 weeks. And once you file your taxes, you could even get a bigger tax refund from Uncle Sam this year. The Treasury Department estimates that funds could average $1,000 or more per household. And the reason here is that many filers didn't adjust their withholdings when the new tax breaks actually took effect. Well, Google is agreeing to pay $68 million in settlement money over violation of privacy allegations. The lawsuit claims Google assisted recorded conversations after it was accidentally activated. So the users who brought on this lawsuit accuse Google of using these conversations to target ads. This is all dating back to 2016. Google denied any wrongdoing but agreed to settle to avoid the cost and uncertainty of litigation. The European Union is investigating Grok, which is Elon Musk's chatbot on X. Right now, the AI assistant is being looked at over creating sexually explicit images of women and children. The European Commission says it is also looking into whether the platform properly mitigated risks and followed the law. Grok no longer allows users to create revealing images of real people, and that is after outcry over X's initial response to just limit the tool to paying subscribers. Well, TikTok is no longer part of a trial over social media and mental health. The social media app has now settled out of court. Snapchat's parent company already reached a similar settlement last week. This trial will now continue against Meta Platforms and Alphabet's YouTube. This case involves allegations that the way social media and streaming video apps are designed has harmed the mental health of young people and left them addicted to the services. Now, we should mention both companies deny those allegations. Americans, guess what? They're going to spend a record amount on Valentine's Day this year. The National Retail Federation predicts $29 billion will be spent. Shoppers are budgeting nearly $200 for gifts, and that includes anything from romantic partners, family members, children's classmates, and teachers, co-workers, and pets. Candy remains the most popular Valentine's Day gift, followed by flowers, cards, and a night out, even some jewelry. Well, let's take a look at Lambert International Airport. Right now, Southwest Airlines is shaking up the way millions of people fly. Free check bags are gone, seats will soon be assigned, and extra fees for better seats are on the way. 5 on Your Side's Travis Cummings spoke to a frequent traveler to see how these changes are changing the experience.
Well, the biggest thing I've noticed is there's no longer free checked bags. I'm a college student, so flying back home for breaks, both winter and summer breaks, can be really hard when now I have to pay that additional checked baggage fee.
For years, Southwest has been a familiar choice for millions of flyers.
I think they're really the only airline I've ever flown. My whole family's been pretty loyal Southwest customers.
Now in 2026, the airline is making major changes, and travelers like Rebecca Grossman are taking notice. Here's what's changing at Southwest: assigned seating, new fare tiers, and fees for services that used to be free, including the all-time favorite, checked bags.
I used to not have to worry about what seat I was going to get. I was just always, setting my alarms, making sure I was checking in 24 hours before to get the seat that I wanted. But now when you have to, pay to get a better seat, that's something I don't really want to have to consider.
For students like Grossman, these updates are changing how and whether they fly.
It's always been a really good economic choice as an airline, and implementing those tiers is something that other airlines do.
Southwest says the changes are designed to modernize operations and support expansion, including new routes to St. Thomas and seasonal flights to Anchorage.
I'm heading back to DC. I go to school at American University, so excited to start my semester.
But for loyal flyers heading back to campus, adjusting to new fees and seat selection is now part of the journey.
And I understand that they're trying to increase profits whatever way they can, but when those changes are negatively affecting their most loyal customers, it makes me question whether it's a smart business decision.
Travis Cummings, 5 on your side.
All right, and if you have questions about Southwest's new policies, we've got a full breakdown of the changes plus contact information on this story at ksdk.com. Finally here, Super Bowl 60 is set. The New England Patriots and the Seattle Seahawks will meet on the big game on February 8th. Of course, it's a game that you're going to see right here on 5 on your side. And of course, we got to talk about the commercials. So far, we know that at least 3 commercials will have St. Louis ties. So let's start with Budweiser.
I'm as free as a bird now.
It features an iconic Clydesdale and an eaglet who grow into an American icon with the song Lynyrd Skynyrd, Freebird, playing in the background. The ad pays homage to America's 250th birthday and marks 150 years since the first Budweiser was brewed right here in St. Louis. You can watch that full commercial right now on ksdk.com. And a former St. Louis Blues player will be making an appearance during Super Bowl 60. Take a look. This is TJ Oshie, the star of the Sochi Olympics, who will be covering hockey this year, by the way. It's part of another beer commercial. He's part of Michelob Ultra's Super Bowl ad, which just dropped, and it stars actor Kurt Russell as the ultra ski instructor and features other Winter Olympic icons as well. Now, Oshie actually played against Wyatt Russell, the son of Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn, back in college. So cool. And you'll also catch St. Louis native Andy Cohen in a sweet commercial. Nerds Candy just shared a teaser of its ad starring the Bravo celebrity. The Clayton High School alum tells People magazine it is a pinch me moment. Again, the Super Bowl will air right here on 5 on Your Side, February 8th. Okay, that's going to do it for us. Thanks so much for watching Michelle on the Money. For more money stories like these, be sure to join me every day on Today in St. Louis starting at 5 a.m. We'll see you again next weekend right here on the 5 Plus app.